Welcome back to Tween Time with Miss Lori here at the Wycliffe Library. Today we are going to do a no-sew pillow. This is fabulous for me because I don't really know how to sew. I could probably sew a button on if it's necessary, if it comes off of a shirt or a pair of pants. But if no sewing is involved, you're gonna catch me doing this craft. So let's get started. The things that you're going to need for this craft are some fleece. So I've got two different patterns here of fleece. Fleece blanket is what I used for this. You can see that I already have a bunch of these cut out. You can find these at like the dollar store, super, super cheap. Maybe $5 for a big fleece blanket. And then it's up to you whatever size you would like to cut your pieces. I cut mine about 10 by 10 for this particular piece of fabric. This one, so cute, little alpacas, was given to us whole. So you have to get your scissors out and measure and cut that one, which I have already done for us for this video. So we're going to make today just a small square pillow. And you will see that I have cut the alpaca fabric about 10 by 10, and then I have a different colored gray fabric for the other side. You could use 2 alpaca, you could use 2 gray, you could use whatever kind of fabric you have. If you want to mix and match, or if you just want to keep them the same, it's totally up to you. Two of the biggest parts of this craft: measuring and cutting. So first of all, what I did after I cut my 10 by 10 squares, I laid one directly on top of the other. And then I measured. And because I said we're going to do a square, I measured 1.5 inches around the fabric to create another square on the inside. So that's actually that smaller square on the inside is going to be the size of your pillow. So that's the first step. After you cut your square or your heart or whatever shape you would like to make your pillow, you have your fabric, and then you will measure on one side or the other. It doesn't have to be both sides, just one side or the other. Measure whatever size you would like your pillow to be. 1.5 inches, I really wouldn't go any shorter than that, because what you need to do after you make your square or your shape on your fabric is you're going to need to cut little strips so that you can tie them together. So anything less than 1.5 inches, I think, would be an issue in trying to tie them. Might be a little bit too short to get your fingers around it. So I want to show you that I've done most of the steps, but left a little bit so that you can see how you get from this stage to this stage. So you have your fabric, you've measured it out, and on this one you would need to complete the inking here, okay? Which I've done on this one. You can see that I've inked all the way around. Now, if you're going to do a square and not a circle or a heart or I would think a diamond would be a square, it would just be turned this way. But if you're going to do a square, once you get your ink all the way around, you need to cut out your corners. So you'll see, I don't know if it's easy for you to see here. You'll see that I have cut out the corners of this one. Here's the little pieces to prove that I did cut them out of the square. I left one so that you could see where you need to cut. See the little dots I put here? Right? So I'm going to cut that out now so that you can see me cutting the edges here. You need to cut an edge. This will make tying up your pillow easier when you get to those corners. So you're just going to go ahead and cut that out. See? Got that. So now I have my square and all of the edges are cut out. You'll see here. See, they're all cut out. Then the next step, which again is going to be the longest step, is to cut your fringe. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut, I didn't even measure, I just started cutting little pieces. I'd say mine are probably a 1/2 inch, maybe 1/2 inch each. And you want to cut from the edge of your square where you have your line. So from the edge to your inked line, you're 1.5 inches here. So you don't want to go in or else you're going to be going into your pillow. So you cut from the edge to the inked line. And you'll see that I've done that on this one. See? All the way around until you get to the end. And I have left a couple pieces here that I didn't cut just so that you can see. Let me get closer to the camera here, just so that you can see. I'm cutting. It's probably best to have a good pair of scissors. Cut, 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 cut till you get to the inked line. All right, I'm just about done here. Cutting, just about done cutting. Then comes the tying. So you got a little, this didn't take me too long, a couple minutes to cut all these little strips to my line. And the next thing you need to do, which is going to take a little bit of time, put on your favorite music, put on your favorite TV show that you're binging, and just start tying. And by tying, keeping the two pieces of fabric together. By tying, I mean just like make a knot, okay? So you're gonna do that all the way around. See, just tie a knot. Didn't really show you all that long, did I? All the way around your pillow. And like I said, putting on your favorite music, or probably can't watch TV too much if you need to be watching what you're doing here. Just tie it one time. One little knot should be all that it takes, all the way around. So I'm gonna pause this video, complete tying my little pillow, my little alpaca pillow, and when I get close to the end, I'll restart it so that you can see what it looks like and then how we stuff it. So we have our fabric, we have ruler, pencil, pen, marker, whatever, to mark your sheet, good pair of scissors, and then you're going to need polyfill, stuff to stuff your pillow. What I'm going to do after I complete this, after this video is done, is I'm going to put together some kits with cutout fabric. If you're interested and you would like to make a pillow, come to the library and pick up a kit, and I will have this fabric and the polyfill for you with the directions so you can make your own. So I'll see you back here in a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. So that took a little bit of time. I think that I forgot to mention to you before I took my break, before I got to the tying, is that you're not supposed to tie up the entire thing, because how are you going to stuff it? So what I've done is I've tied all the way around, most of the way around, and left this much open. I wanted it to be enough that I could stick my hand in when I need to fill it. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 untied pieces of fringe. So then what I do is I take my polyfill and I scrunch it up in my hand and begin to stuff my pillow. So you're gonna wanna, you don't want too much where it looks like a ball, but enough that it's gonna be a nice cozy little pillow for you to lean on or put your head on to fall asleep in the car if you're on a long car ride and you don't wanna just have your head hanging over the side. You can have this nice little pillow. So soft, so cute. And then once you're filled up, You squish it around in your corners. If you've got a square, squish it around. See how nice and fluffy that is? Nice and fluffy. I'm going to put just a little bit more so that when I tie up the edges, it'll be a nice, nice full pillow. So now comes a little bit of a tricky part, trying to sew this up, or not sew it up, tie it up without the fluff coming out. As I was tying these knots in the fringe here, I thought to myself, this could be a little bit frustrating for people. So I'm going to suggest that even though this is the size of the pillow with 1.5 inches of fringe, you might want to go 2 inches if you're not so nimble with your fingers or using your fingers, because it can get frustrating. However, that's going to make your pillow smaller. So if you come into the library to pick up a kit, you're going to get a 10 by 10 piece of fabric. So I will leave that to you to decide if you want your pillow to be 1/2 inch smaller all the way around than what I have here. But so anyhow, you've stuffed it in, and then all you have to do is complete your tying of your pillow, and then the rest of it is for you to enjoy resting with, snuggling with. I appreciate you watching this video. It was a lot of fun to make it. They're very, very cute, very simple. Please stop into the library, pick up a kit, and while you're here, maybe you'll find a book or two to read. Thank you. See you next time.